For our next session, we have an insight session. Topic for the session is creative metamorphosis. The session will be conducted by Nazia Andaleeb Preema, visual artist, entrepreneur, creative influencer.
To me, it's my expression. The way I express what I want to say is creativity. The way I think, what I think, and that thinking, how I transfer and how interestingly I deliver is creativity to me. To me, creativity is a very sensible process which allow us to connect and to deliver the deeper sense in a way that is very authentic, very different, and very interesting. And the more we be creative in our expression, the more we achieve to become creative. Everybody got creative instinct. It is very intuitive process, but how to nurture it depends on individuals' practice and the way they perceive and express themselves. So creativity is a sort of a tool that help us to be more expressive. Say, for instance, why artists practice creativity more than any other people? Because when we, like me, want to express a sky, it is not only what I see, what we all see sky as it is. So when I paint a sky, it's not only the way I look at the sky, it's rather got my expression in it. My individual expression makes the sky more interesting and intriguing for the people or the audience to view the sky the way I see it. So that's the process used to nurture or to harness creativity. Evolving the term is very important for our life because it is the only constant element. Without evolve, we cannot grow. And if we don't grow, we cannot create. So it's a process. So what I create yesterday is going to be totally, completely old today. So for tomorrow, create a new thing, I have to evolve. So how do we evolve? We evolve actually full circle. We evolve with our senses. What is evolve actually? Evolve is a transformation. So as an artist, I think it is very important for me to evolve. Otherwise, it's boring for me. Otherwise, my own work bore me. So it is a necessity for me to evolve in shape, in color, in concept, in technique, in media, in everything. So evolving is a component that is an inherent quality to being creative. So artist and creative mind should evolve continuously. It is a process of their ongoing journey because without evolving, we cannot see the goal. We cannot really create. To evolve is to grow. To evolve through learning is to be an artist. And to me, I think everybody is artist, but the difference is some realizes that they are and some not. But in order to be creative, evolving is very, very important and crucial. For an example, like when I paint or when I do a performance, or if I do a graphic design, for an instance, or any sort of design or any sort of dialogue, it has been done and said it's done before because our human mind is very different from each other. And not only from each other, every minute it is different. It creates different notion. So if we, with the whole being, if we cannot capture that, we cannot make our creative expression the new expression, or the expression that would be very, very intriguing, provoking, and interesting. So evolving is a process that really keep us on our creative zeal. So today I work with a red, like a red color. There's thousands of shades of red. But then the next day I got to search, but the next minute I have to search the new shade of red. So without evolving, I will repeat the color red every time. The color I chose before, it's gonna be repeat every time. So, and evolving actually very much connected with learning and exploration. Some use the word learning and some use the word exploration. The meaning is same. Like artists explore, this is actually learning through exploration. So evolve happen when we learn continuously. So this process is very, very important process for a creative mind, because the creative mind should challenge him or herself by evolving only. Because if we challenge and if we don't evolve, that means it is not happening at the same time. So what happened that we can't progress. So it has to be like learning, evolving, transformation. So this whole process actually happens simultaneously. So that's the process of an artist, and that is very much the process of my creative or artistic practice. It's very difficult to change, and it's very easy to change. Why it's difficult? Because if we are comfortable, if we are satisfied, and if you are not hungry, we would never change. But if we are hungry, if we are not satisfied, if it is not enough for us, we will be definitely evolving. At least that worked for me, because without change, I just cannot create. Because as I said before, that I am a component of constant changing. And that's what our ultimate goal should be, at least for the creative people who really think they are creative. Change is interesting. Change is provocative. Change is challenging. Without change, the life will be hell monotonous, and the world is here now because of the change, because of the evolve, because we evolved. So change again is another thing, is constant. Like Van Gogh, artist, one of my very favorite artists, who painted one painting several times to capture the light of a day. So, and he proved that each and every time in a particular day, the light that particular time create totally change the painting. So see, the every day, every minute, every second is a changing second. The dynamics of change is the power of this universe. That's why the world is moving, because of the change. Even each morning is not same. Every morning is different than previous. So it's changing. So think about it. Creativity needs a lot of meditation, because without meditation, we cannot understand this deep, deep meaning of creative sense that is inside us. So in order to be creative, we really have to embrace change. So even if we want to understand who we are, what we want to achieve through creativity, we need to change ourselves. So the notion is very complicated, but the reflection of the change is massive. Like, we cannot see the change that just happened. But when we reflect on it, we see the massive change in our creation, in the universe, in whatever we do. So the ability of change we have to acquire to be really dynamic in our thinking, in our creation, and in our vision. So we actually reach to our highest possibility if we embrace the change. But most people are very afraid of change, because change is very risky. Because if I create something liked by many, loved by many, to put it on the pedestal to see that how it goes to the next level, if I change it, it's a very risky task. But then again, failure is a very important part to be a great artist or a creative mind. So if we don't fail, if we never be unsuccessful of what we want to achieve, that means we never challenge our own ability of change, evolve, or transform. Very cliche thing to say that let's do things out of the box. But this so simple line is super important, because out of the box means go beyond our ability. What is go beyond our ability? Go beyond our ability as an artist, go beyond our ability as a collector, go beyond our ability as a thinker, go beyond our ability, change everything. The dynamics will shift in such a massive way if we change our thinking, ourself, our process. We need to challenge our own ability of creativity to get to the new realm of creative zone. The dynamics is very critical to change, but once you have that ability, you became addicted to the power of change. So, people can't change because they don't see, they don't have vision. So, in order to be visionary, you have to change. In order to grow, you have to change. In order to be specially creative, you got to change. So, what is metamorphosis? Through change, what we become is the process of metamorphosis. So, actually, we are always a product of the process of metamorphosis. Otherwise, we don't grow, we don't become who we are. Creative metamorphosis is actually what we were just discussing, that through change and evolve, what we become, or through change or evolve, what we create is the process of metamorphosis. So creative metamorphosis is like, say for instance, I choose a piece of art to create that would express my idea. The way I transfer my idea onto the surface or into the media is the creative metamorphosis. It is actually very juxtaposition and very much paradox at the same time, because process and the result is almost same. It is the metamorphosis. We are all a product of metamorphosis. So the more deeper we can transform our process of thinking and transform into the media that we express through, that transformation is the metamorphosis, what we created. So we have to be satisfied and at the same time not satisfied. It's like, again, juxtaposition. So the thing is, I did a work or a piece of art and I'm satisfied that, okay, I can achieve it, what I wanted to express. But in the next, at the same time, not next, at the same time, I'm thinking that I could express it in a different way. But the process is very critical, because at the same time, I'm satisfied, at the same time, I'm not satisfied. But this whole process of satisfaction and not being satisfied transform us to the ultimate goal that we want to achieve. And then that ultimate goal also evolve into the next process of experimentation and exploration to transform ourselves into the next level is metamorphosis. It sounds very easy, but to achieve the process, it's very difficult. And it is it's a continuous process. It is like our life. We are in a process of our metamorphosis journey of life. No species exists without going through the process. And only if we allow us to be in this metamorphosis process, we see ourselves at our best version of each of us. So when we see our best expression, like from the caterpillar to butterfly, very typical example again, but then again, the whole process of from caterpillar to butterfly, the way that happened, that when we transform, we start from here and we became this giant creative powerhouse. So today, maybe I don't know nothing about creativity, but if I take that path of transformation, learning, reflecting, introspection, going out of the box, embrace change, evolve, immerse, that all thing together create a beautiful butterfly, which is so creative. And that process itself, the whole component, the component that I mentioned, going through all this component, own it, apply it, and see the magic of the creative power that is within us. It's a spark that make our work challenge our previous work to the work that we aspire to create. So the whole process is a metamorphosis to me. Well, agencies are always creative. That's their job, to be creative. So it's a very important job to create, but they have to think that they are the trigger for changing the society. We all are the trigger. So their work actually a tool or a weapon to change any society. So through the transformation, since it is not one word that I do it now, it is the whole process of transformation, really help them to grow. Grow means everybody grows, they grow, I grow, everybody grows. But the challenge is, are we growing according to the need, or are we growing the way we must grow? That's the challenge. So agency, I think, should be very, very fluid in their creative practice. I understand there are a lot of things going on. Sometimes we cannot be creative when we deal it for client or particular group or particular mission achievement, but anything and everything is possible if we evolve or if we transform. Like, it's again very deep. Like, if we don't transform, we don't create the environment. We can't create a transformative environment. So it's very important that every people in the industry, all people, not only the creative head, not only the visualizer, not only the artist of the company, should be the creative. The creativity practice should be the core of an agency. I mean, receiving end, giving end, everybody should be transformative. Everybody should be open to take the change. Everybody should be able to provoke their inner ability to change. Not only themselves, also the restraint that coming from the source of the restraint or resistance should be also challenged by the agency. And we are not risk taker enough. Or sometimes I hear a lot of people say me that, oh, you can take the risk as an artist, but we cannot afford to take risk. But think about it. An artist, what is art? You don't know what an artist's art will sell next day or not. But an artist is so passionate that he or she, the artist, intuitively felt that her passion is the one that she wants to pursue and to do. So without knowing anything, any confirmation, the artist, creates. That takes a lot of courage. So the agency should be very courageous in their creative practice or in their transformation process. It should be so rigorous, so passionate that no matter how resistant the environment is, the people are around us, the community, all resistance should be suppressed by the power of change, of creative transformation. So this power itself is creativity. Power is nothing but creativity. And that's also how we become powerful. Why one person is so powerful, not by status, by money, by anything, but from inside, from within. Why a person powerful and why another person is less powerful? Because the powerful person challenge her own ability, his own possibility. So possibility is a word. Limitless is a word that should be practiced in every day of our life, because agencies, every day they're breaking barriers. But the resistance is high because this is actually a discourse of a contextual determined object or product. So if it is contextual, pre-contextual, so to deconstruct it takes a lot of power and courage. So the transformation has to happen every day in the industry. Go out of the box is already out of the box, beyond. But to change and to be hungry, that to not to be satisfied, not to be satisfied. Why it is? আমি এজন্যই satisfied কারণ আমি satisfied নই. What does that mean? That means আমি এই কাজটা করলাম আজকে এবং আমি খুবই খুশি what I achieved through my creative expression, but then again আমি যখন কালকে ওই কাজটা আবার দেখবো বা দেখলাম পরদিন, I got shocked that how could I did this? Because in few hours, I got changed, I transformed, I learned, I explored, I grow, so I change. So my own idea, my own expression start haunting me as so cliche, so boring. So I tried and tried to grow. And that's how the transformation continuously take place in our life. So the agency could practice transformation, and within the agency, they could have the atmosphere of an entity that continuously evolving and breaking their own ideas to get to the next idea, which is right there, but which is, we can't see it because we are not happening. We are not changing. And when we are not changing, nothing is good enough. Not for anybody, for us. Not, we got to create the wow factor of anything that we create. It's easy to say than achieve, because I am the example. I could say, but it's very difficult for me to achieve. But then the point is not achieving. The point is to be transformative, to be changeable, to be fluid, to take the risk that I can change, that I can really, really evolve, that I can really transform myself. That's what I do when I practice performance. When I paint, I explore, I experience, I put my expression in it, but when it is not enough, I do anything. So when I do anything, that became my authentic expression, and that became a performance. It's a very interesting process. So to express, media, platform, nothing is the barrier. The barrier is our mind. We cannot think beyond, but we got to think to break our own idea, our own expression, and our own sense that stop us not to change, not to be transformed. Artists definitely have inner soul, and their third eye is always open. They can sense the unthinkable. So what do I mean when I say inner soul? Soul, it's not inner or outer, it's soul. Artists are always very connected with their soul because sense is very important for creating any sort of art form. Sense is very important for any sort of creativity. Sense is everything. The more we connected to our sense, the more we understand what our subconscious telling us to project. Our subconscious is very powerful. Any and every creative thing happen in our subconscious. And sense actually collect it. And through our creativity, we express it. It's actually the whole process. I keep coming back to the word process because soul searching is also a very important part for a creative person. Be it's graphic designing, be it's advertising, be it's performance, be it's painting, singing, anything, composing, to be honest, it needs sense. Without sense, everything would be there, but creativity will be not there. Creativity is it seems like it's everything is creative, but actually everything is not creative. There are a lot of garbage in the name of creativity or creative. How do we define which is garbage and which is really creative? Through our soul practice, through our sense practice. And this whole dynamics of soul and senses is an integral part of creative practice. An artist, real artist, truly practice soul. Because without soul, the art cannot have a life. Any design, any art, any advertisement, any composition got alive. They're alive. They got their own embodiment within that sphere of creativity. It's a very deep notion of the universe that any creativity, any creative work got a life itself. Sometime I heard some of my teachers or mentor told me that my painting or my performance is very alive. What does that mean? Like when we see a design, we say, wow, we feel so agile to see the design. Not every design gives us that power of happiness, life, but some are. Because there are soul in it. Because there are soul in it, we feel alive because soul transforms. If the creator put his or her soul in the creation, it would definitely touch another soul, which is searching for that particular sensible, creative design or creativity. So without soul, nothing, no creativity can happen. Next generation of professionals of the creative industry, not only next, even us, everybody should be always hungry. Creativity cannot be enough. challenge yourself, provoke others through your own creative practice, inspire others, be inspired, always live with your senses, never leave your soul. Always be an artist. Think like an artist. Embrace that you are a creator. Embrace that a creator don't have any shape, don't have any particular color, or it is not even a boxed entity. It's open, it's fluid, it's abundance. So the next generation should be free from all constraint and all resistance. Embrace courage to change. Embrace transformation. Be whoever you want to be as a creative professional. When I say be whoever you want to be as a creative professional means that Leonardo da Vinci, the great artist, was a philosopher, an artist, a scientist, whatnot. So a creative person can be anything at any given moment because he or she is so adaptable to change, so adaptable to transformation, so creative and passionate to embrace their inner soul and belief, and be very, very courageous to express whatever and however you express, to be more and more creative. Because remember, this universe is the creative entity. Creativity is the ultimate. If you are a creative, you are a real gem. Feel it, own it, and be damn creative and hungry.
Thank you very much, Ms. Preema, for your enlightening session.